Nagumo, it's time to cook. What's up guys, all Pencil, and here we're going to do a nice little breakdown slash live reaction and review to chapter 151 of Sakamoto Days, which is known as, I don't know, I don't see it on this first page, but it's Sakamoto Days, aka Gotomoto Days, aka Pikamoto Days, aka we need to start reading instantaneously. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. I think me, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. What's up guys, that guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, both Nagumo and Ganku tend to have it on them and keep it on them at all times, so you know what time it is. I'm excited to see them cook. Or continue cooking. Because so far, Nagumo's low-key been cooking. I know a lot of people, like, they clearly have relativity. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is just verbatim stated in the previous chapter. They do have relativity. They only get the edge on each other back and forth, back and forth. But I've been seeing a bunch of Nagumo slander. And it's just slander. I can't even call it downplay. Because if you downplay Nagumo, it is slander. And I need y'all to stop. Relax, relax, relax. Just because he's got a couple hits, just because he got Nagumo on guard before he turned the gears up, doesn't mean that Ganku suddenly slams Nagumo, y'all. Doesn't mean Ganku turns the rest of the order into a victim. Relax, relax. Jeez. Ganku would probably violate Hyo, though. Like, just based on how the fight with Kumanomi went, most likely Ganku would violate Hyo. But, like, Hyo's fodder anyway. I mean, it sounds so bad. He's not fodder. But let's actually hop right into chapter 151. Alright, so we're continuing the battle right where we left off. Are they just gonna slam through a wall? Like, one thing I do love, yet I'm simultaneously a little bit concerned by, is the genuine indifference of just civilians in the Sakamoto Days world. Like, I presume it's just so much more common, like, in their world than ours. But, like, if I were to see these two superhuman beings, like, battling in the heavens throughout the entire building, I probably wouldn't be so calm. I'd be, like, at least trying to leave. Like, notably, I know they're moving so fast most of the time that it's basically impossible to react to them. I know that's a very big thing about their movements. Like, you literally, it's multiple times, especially in the Sakamoto's past arc, where we see, I think my favorite scene to display this is in the elevator, where, like, I believe Sakamoto, like, knocks something out of someone's pocket. The person bends over to pick it up. He immediately, like, drops somebody. They let the guy out of the elevator. No one noticed. But, like, Nagumo and Ganku are just, like, fighting blatantly throughout the entire exhibit. And everyone's just like, whatever. Like, there's not even an excuse, like, when Osaragi was fighting Shin and Mask Kid. Because I completely forget his name. Seba's little brother. But it's not even like then where Seba and Seba's little brother, where Shin and Seba's little brother were, like, in a exhibit, and then they paused, and then the kids started hitting the buttons, then they started fighting. Like, there's no excuse with this for them to be so calm, but I guess they just chilling. Let's see, Nagumo and Ganku. Honestly, I think Nagumo has to win this, but I don't think he's going to be able to get rid of Ganku here, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I think Gaku's going to escape, but I think, unless Nagumo, like, but then, like, just Ganku really need jobbing? Like, that's one of the things with Sakamoto Days. I don't know who necessarily needs jobbing in this scenario. If anything, I'd say it's Nagumo. Like, the last, like, really big hyped fight Nagumo had was all the way up against, not Compress, whatever that guy's name. The guy who, like, shrunk things down in Sakamoto's shop. Like, that was the last major encounter he had, where he, like, won and dominated and showed off. But obviously that guy was fodder. You didn't see Nagumo struggle. So, for these two in particular, I think Nagumo should win. I want Nagumo to win. But at the same time, considering Gaku's confident enough, or not necessarily confident enough, but he's, like, actively looking for old man Tamamura. Like, if he can't get past Nagumo, then how am I supposed to believe that he's going to do anything against old man Tamamura? Something he seems confident enough in being able to do. I don't know. I'm very interested. Sakamoto Days is one of the manga where I feel like I tend to have a general idea of where certain things are going to go. But then Hyo got. Like, live on air by Kumanomi. Like, I didn't think he was going to get got. Like, I thought he was going to maybe lose the fight, but, like, escape with Isuke. But no, he got. So, I'm interested. Though I feel like Nagumo, he's just a little bit too important. I think Nagumo can't fall here. At the same time, I think Ganku can't fall here. I think Kumanomi and Sports Guy, I'm going to completely forget their names. But I believe those two are much more expendable than Ganku. And I feel like With that being the case, Gaku has some character slash plot and vulnerability, but Nagumo, thanks to his connections to Akira and Sakamoto, he also has some character slash plot and vulnerability. So I'm interested to see how this battle in particular ends. But let's see. Boom! Oh shoot! They just sent straight. Once again, I love how much force these guys move with. Chapter 100, days 151. Nagumo. Oh wow, we're just calling it that. Nagumo versus Gaku. So last chapter was just a warm up. This is them actually getting active. All right, let's see. Look, okay, at least one of them is reacting. Like, bro's still on his phone, like, whatever that explosion was, doesn't matter. This guy's kind of looking up, but he may be looking up at one of the exhibits. She doesn't seem to care, he doesn't seem to care. No one even remotely seems locked in. He's tough. Probably the best I've ever fought. The best? The best? Not does sparring with Prime Sakamoto count? Does it? Does it count? That would. So better than Kindaka? I mean, Kindaka was out of his prime by the time Nagumo encountered him, and of course that was like over 10 years ago at this point in particular. But the best I've ever fought coming from once again, that's the big issue. I'm not sure what counts in that statement. Who has Nagumo fought of like specific notoriety? I just don't know. Like I genuinely have no clue. Like if you that's a crazy statement if you include like Prime Sakamoto in there. Like probably the best I've ever fought is like whoa, that could go crazy if you include Prime Sakamoto. But I'm not sure who else. Like, then it's just superior to that one dude, and like all the random fodder Nagumo's slain with ease. So, still, from Nagumo, a member of the Order, after essentially a spat with Gaku to be like, okay, bro's ever. Best I ever fought. Bro's got the best hands I've ever seen. That's very good. That's very, very good. And he says the best, which seems like, at least to me, is like a summation of his overall abilities. This isn't just like, he's the strongest I've ever fought, the fastest I've ever fought. The best I've ever fought? That's at least like a roundabout, pound for pound, overall the fighter, the best ever, which is very impressive. A very good statement for Gaku. Coming specifically from Nagumo, which, honestly, your boy was not expecting it, especially on the second page. Golly. Hold on, let me run some mathematics. The mathematics have been calculated. Mathematics, calculations, work with me. Hey-ya! Let's see. It's been a while since I spent this much time handling someone. You good? You need a bathroom break? I'll wrap this up quickly, then go. Okay! It's so interesting that these two, to any degree, are just, like, suppressing themselves for either reason. Like, considering the fact that they're both, like, dealing damage to each other, wouldn't it have been better to just open full gas from round start? Because, like, both of them admitted, from the moment this fight began, they were not what the other was looking for. Like, clearly, Gaku's looking for Old Man Tamamura, and clearly he's not at that level yet, just based on the fact that he's struggling with this casual Nagumo. Admittedly, while Gaku himself is clearly casual, as he says here. But, Nagumo, you're looking around the ones with Uzuki, and you can't even get past Gaku? Like, no, don't get me wrong. There definitely is a possibility that Gaku's stronger than Uzuki, or Akira, or... Actually, no. Akira's the niece. Rihanna Kao, and then... Rihanna Kira. Gosh darn it. This is what happens when you consume Sakamoto days, Gotomoto days too quickly. Akira Rion. I believe... Which one is which? No, please. Help me. Brain. Googler. I summoned thee to this plane of reality. Rihanna Kao. Okay, so yeah, Rion. So, like... I presume Nagumo is relative to Rion. And obviously, he should be at least relative to Prime Sakamoto to some certain degree. But at the same time, it's like... I don't know, dog. You're going to be dealing with both of them fused together. Like, Uzuki and Rion could switch fighting styles on the fly if it really came down to it. And they should know your fighting style. Like, I'm assuming a big reason Gaku's struggling so much is specifically because Nagumo is a deceiver. He's like a manipulator in terms of a battlefield. But at least... Rion would know how to fight Nagumo to certain degrees. Obviously, Nagumo's gotten better. It's been like a whole decade since the two last encountered each other. But the fundamentals of his style would still stay the same. And Uzuki, by having any sort of relativity to Prime Sakamoto should have some sort of relativity to Nagumo too. So both of them like playing around and holding back. I'm not sure that's the smartest idea for either of y'all because they're just accumulating damage. Like if Old Man Tamamoto were to show up right now, obviously I don't think he is. Like the museum would have been destroyed. The museum would have been destroyed at this point. If Tamamoto was actually there, I think we would have just heard, and then suddenly the whole museum's coming down. But at least in Nagumo's case, you probably want to be at full strength to fight Uzuki. I'm just saying. Unless bro's got some secret trump card, some like fifth gear somebody's going into. I'm not sure if you're really schmooving with the right intensity, Nagumo. But let's see. Gaku with the speed. Let's see. Does he react though? Yeah, he does clearly react. Alright. So yeah, these two are very, very relative. Which is good. I do think that's good, right? Because then again, who is the strongest in the order right now? Who is it, Nagumo or is it Shishiba? I don't think it's Ozaragi. I know a lot of people, especially after. Oh, I've seen people like hyping up Ozaragi a whole lot, but I don't really see them as the strongest in the order. So I think it is like a direct contest between Nagumo and Shishiba. And like currently Shishiba's taking on two other members of the orphanage that he's taking on Kumanomi and Sports Guy. I could look up his name. I will not. But with that being the case, I'm interested. I'm very interested to wonder who's the strongest. Or have we even met the well, obviously Tamamoto's the strongest, right? Like but he doesn't count. He doesn't count. He's separate. But well, he's not separate. He is in the order. But I'm interested. Because Gaku, once again, just should be second to Uzuki. So if Uzuki shows up, who's stopping him? Because, like, Sakamoto is still extremely powerful, don't get me wrong, but, like, maybe this is just me. I don't think he's caught up to his prime self yet. I still think he's lacking overall. Especially if he doesn't slim down. Like, bro wasn't able to beat Kanagiri? The movie director guy. He wasn't able to beat him. Even after slimming down, after his whole, like, training art to get better, accustomed to his base form, like, all that, and he still wasn't able to beat Kanaguri, who was coming out of a fight with... I'm going to look up her name, because I respect the teacher way too much to not look up her name. Hold on, I'm actually on there. Let me see... Nagumo, Taro Sakamoto, teacher. Please, I'm begging you. Show me the way. What is the teacher's name? I need to reread the series and like actually slowly consume it because I reread it recently, but I just blazed through it. Sakamoto, teacher, and I know her name is so simple, which is why I'm mad I'm forgetting it. Sakamoto, teacher. Please. Satoda Sensei or Satada Sensei. Yeah, like, I genuinely do. Why was I looking at that name? I was talking about Prime Sakamoto essentially, and how I don't think after, and I'm gonna look up his name too. Forget it, just for the sake of my sanity. What are you? What is your name? Kanaguri or Kanagiri? It's Kanaguri or Kanagiri. Let us say Kanaguri. Sakamoto days. For the sake of my sanity. Please tell me I'm right. Yep, Kanaguri. Yeah, so Kanaguri, after coming out of a fight with Satoda Sensei, fought against Sakamoto, who was mostly fresh. And Sakamoto, even after slimming down and seemingly enough going all out, it was most likely had a little bit off that lean, like he was a little bit off the sauce when he was fighting Kanaguri, just because Kanaguri, had just slaughtered Satoda Sensei, so Sakamoto was feeling it a little bit. Obviously, he wasn't going for no execution or nothing, but the fact that Kanaguri got up and walked off just fine, and I know he was an order tier threat. Like, I don't even think Slim Down Sakamoto is currently caught up to his prime self, at least not to any degree where he's still the greatest assassin in the world. So I'm not sure who's really stopping Uzuki right now. Uzuki plus Rion. If those two can stack each other's skills, or even wield them independently. I feel like those two would be a threat for Nagumo independently. And Sakamoto, unless he were to jump him, like jump Uzuki and jump Rion, the Urion, the combination of the two. Unless Nagumo were to get like an assist or a jump factor, I'm not exactly sure if he's taking that one. That's just me though, let's see. Okay, so Gaku just slams straight down, but does Nagumo... Ooh. Never mind. Nagumo just weaved. That's my boy. Golly. Bro said, I'll go down. Nah, I'd win. Ooh, shoot. Did he just whoop out a... He keeps... I love this multi-tool. He consistently changes it. I'm liking that we're actually seeing Nagumo start to flex a little bit. Like, the most we've seen this multi-tool before was, once again, against... I'm gonna call him Compress. Or whatever the guy's name was. The guy with the dreads who could, like, crush things down really easily. We only saw him use one bit of it against him because that guy was so far to Nagumo. But we're genuinely seeing him pop off. And yep, this is straight up a scythe. A scythe. Oh! That is one of the good things about following the order, in particular relative to Sakamoto. Like, I love Sakamoto's fights, and in fact, the creativity that comes with Sakamoto's fights due to his willingness to use the environment, and his willingness, not even just willingness to use the environment, but his expertise with using the environment, and also his unwillingness to execute leads to everything getting 10 times as creative. But just seeing, like, the order members just go for it is always interesting to me. Because it's such a stark contrast to what we usually get, considering we consistently follow Sakamoto's crew, who's all about the non-execution. But let's see. Okay, Gaku blocks, though. Ooh, and he blocks pretty expertly, too. He flips his whole heavy metal stick around before Nagumo can finish the swing. That's... Once again, the Gaku... I do like the notion... Someone brought it up to me in, I believe, 150's comment section. They're explaining how it's likely that Gaku is kind of just like a stats beast, and he doesn't actually have a unique power of his own, or a unique, like, attribute or affinity, like the sports guy with his extreme accuracy and ability to utilize sports techniques, and the removal of life, Kumanomi with her ability to manipulate magnetic things. Like, there's no special ability for him, he's just a generic, and that's why Uzuki's older brother, who's currently the chairman of the JAA, he was more than willing to execute Gaku, since Gaku technically had no worth. But it's interesting to see how Gaku, so far, once again, a guy who's shown no unique abilities outside of his extreme strength, which seems to be just a common factor in the world, is able to keep up directly with an order member like Nagumo. Let's see. Block. What's bro doing? Bro said, shake my hand. Come on, boy. Don't you want to shake a poor slaughterer hand? Now let's see. What is this doing? Oh, shoot. How long is your arms, bro? Did he... Oh, actually, no. They're closer than they appear. They are much closer than they appear. Nagumo, you just gonna let yourself get patted like that, bro? Live on air? Live on fire? Gee! Oh! He 1-inch punched? Jeez. But I guess with Nagumo's strength, that would be an insane amount of force. And once again, it goes to show how fast Gaku is. Because Nagumo locked him in here. It's a combination feat in terms of strength, dexterity, and speed. Because not only does he flip his weapon like a full 180 degrees to block, then he blocks presumably only with his right hand, then extends his left hand, and extends it so fast that he's genuinely able to make physical contact with Nagumo. Before, not like the pat here shows that he does make contact. Nagumo notices that he makes contact, and we've seen that Nagumo's been able to, like, genuinely react to him. Like, we've seen this kind of movement before, where Nagumo, he looks, he's about to get attacked, he turns, recognizes Gaku, and dodges. But Nagumo's was slightly overwhelmed here, because we see the same motion. He notices that Gaku has managed to make contact with him, but before he's able to do anything, Gaku 1-inch punches him. But let's see if this, like, because I can't tell if Nagumo blocked it. Considering it's on the right side of his chest, and it doesn't appear that Nagumo blocked anything, like, it looks like he's just gets sent back here. So Gaku, he's pulling things out. Yep, okay, so yeah, you boys know martial artists, but I know a thing or two. I dabble. I know a little bit. I don't know much. Let's see. A 1-inch punch is a Chinese martial artist technique for an extremely close combat blow. With virtually no wind up. I always find that amazing. Like, I've seen people do a 1-inch punch before. I've been hit by one. It is not. Of course, I'm not. I'm not a victim of a Sakamoto Days character. I still am in one piece. But even still, like, especially since I didn't know what it was when I got hit by one, it really hurt. It really, really hurt. Let's see. Stay hydrated, folks. Let's see. Wow. His dexterity and the way he attacks. They remind me of Sakamoto back in the day. Oh, see, so So maybe he is directly comparing it. But then again, that throws that earlier statement into question. Is he comparing him to Prime Sakamoto? Or at least like School Days Sakamoto? We don't know how much interactions they had once they both became Order members. But presumably they're decent enough. The fact that they still have connections to this point. So I'm not sure. But the fact that he's explicitly thinking, oh, the way he fights, the way he moves, his dexterity and the way he attacks remind me of Sakamoto back in the day. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because Gaku, I mean, like, I guess just in terms of sheer physicality and like how much he moves, yeah, he does kind of resemble Sakamoto. And then again, we have such a limited purview of Sakamoto in the past. Like we have the Teen Sakamoto Days arc. But very interesting. Gaku's already being compared to presumably one of the greatest assassins of all time in Sakamoto. While he was still in his... I'm gonna go with teen years just because I don't know enough about how much relativity or how much sparring Sakamoto did with Nagumo that he has like an active reference to compare to. Like, I'm not sure if Nagumo has a full reference sheet for Sakamoto's absolute strength. I have no clue. Let's see. You like Bruce Lee? Huh? Who's that? Gaku. You're telling me all them video games you play, you ain't heard of Bruce Lee? Come on now, broski. Dog. You really don't? Whoa! When did bro do this? Wait, where did that even come? Bro, what? Bro whipped out a whole axe. Bro switched inventory. I know he has the multi-tool, but where is that axe fitting in that multi-tool? What? You really don't know? That seems fishy. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, the 1-inch punch is, it's not like I can't do it. I can't even do it properly, so I'm like, yeah, boy, I ain't gonna watch all the training. But with it being the case, I know it's not necessarily a Bruce Lee exclusive thing. Like, he didn't create it, I don't think. But it was popularized by him. Like, when I think of 1-inch punch, I do think of Bruce Lee. So, like, interesting. Interesting, Gaku. I kind of agree with Nagumo. That does seem a teeny tiny bit fishy. You capping? It's okay. You can tell. Go ahead, Gaku. Tell me. You're capping, aren't you? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to steal moves. Trust me. You're just like Goku. For real. Let's see. That seems fishy. It changed shape again. A hammer or an axe? I mean, like, ¿por qué no los dos? Nah, but, like, yeah, it could be both. I see... Actually, I guess by the way he's swinging it, like, he's gonna use it more for a hammer. Because, like, the sharp side of the blade is not in the swing motion. Like, you would have to flip this for the sharp side of the blade to be used. So, yeah, I guess he's gonna mainly use it as a hammer. Interesting. It changed shape again? A hammer or an axe? Nah! You know, last chapter, some of the footage got corrupted. I'm still mad at that. Some of the footage got corrupted for last chapter review. But one of the things I mentioned, I'm not sure how much of the corrupted got lost, how much got to stay. But one of the things I mentioned that I really liked about Kumanomi's fighting style was the fact that she was so consistently able to manipulate large-scale parts of the environment or even tiny pieces of the environment to her advantage in battlefields. I thought that was super duper interesting. It's why, despite having very few fights so far and being very relatively, I say like relatively new, like she's a character introduced post the 100 chapter mark. I think like maybe at most 30, 40 chapters ago. So, with that being the case, I really like her fighting style, and I like how it's included. And it's one of the main reasons I like watching Sakamoto fight, because of what the Sakamoto Days past arc highlights about Sakamoto and his willingness to use the environment. But man, it hits different when characters who typically don't do it do. And dog, bro really said, well, you know, we're falling on this airplane. Let me just... boom! And he just beams the airplane and smacks Gaku with it. That's insane. This airplane's kind of durable, though. Like, they broke it apart. Like, what? I just really... That is... Hold on. That is crazy. So, Gaku 1-inch punches Nagumo through the airplane. I think I was so focused on 1-inch punch, I didn't even realize that. He 1-inch punches Nagumo through the airplane. And then, before the airplane can begin to properly fall after the line snaps, Nagumo switches weapons and swings it so hard that he puts the airplane on a spin cycle to smack Gaku. And he smacks Gaku pretty decently. That's crazy. I'm shocked Gaku didn't, like, break the airplane wing. So yeah, I do think this is either it's a, like, strength controlling feat, like darn near an AP feat for Nagumo to smack the airplane so hard, yet for it to not like shatter. Like presumably he could have just like blown through the airplane if he didn't manipulate his strength well enough. But nah, he did it just well enough that the force of the airplane spinning was enough to smack Gaku straight up. But look, Gaku does block. He's caught off guard a bit, but he is able to block. But still, that's very, very impressive. I got to give massive credit to Gaku for being able to pull that off. Like that's some next level stuff right there. But let me take a look in a book, Reading Rainbow. Oh, okay, Gaku. You take it once again, Gaku, bro. If you're struggling with Nagumo, you really want Tamamura? You really want Tamamura? I know he only uses that katana, but as a guy with a katana to another, nah, I'm not sure you want that smoke, Gaku. I'm not sure you really want that. But let's see. What an annoying weapon. That's its default shape, but it can change into double swords, a scythe, an axe, a hammer. I wonder what other stuff it's hiding. I'd break it in a day if I tried to use it. Ah, interesting. So this is Gaku essentially admitting that yeah, he does have relative stats, and with his singular weapon, he is able to like pull it off, or like pull off relativity to someone who's wielding this multi-tool. But unlike Nagumo, he's not confident he could wield it extensively. Like, he's like, just based on how it functions, and probably all the delicate intricacies that come with wielding such a complicated weapon, he probably wouldn't be able to wield it. At least not for more than a day. He would probably break it, in terms of just using his overall brute strength. So, while Gaku's dexterity and strength is fantastic, once again, being able to punch a man, 1-inch punch a man through an airplane, it's not to the level of Nagumo's yet. And I do like this. One of the things I was worried about, especially once the other members of the orphanage started getting introduced, and obviously Hyoga got, I was kind of worried that the order was gonna low-key get power crept just a bit. Like a little bit, like I could almost feel it happening. But I'm glad that the order, even if they are like being shown to struggle, they ain't completely getting outclassed by X, their group, and the orphanage members. Going to show that they are of certain calibers, even if the orphanage members are relative. Which is, once again, it has me very excited to see Shishiba versus Kumanomi and the sports guy. And I do wonder if Osaragi is going to join in on that. I'm presuming she has to, right? Like, I think it'd be crazy if those two who were just recently introduced did just get 1v2'd by Shishiba. If they just came in and he just washed both of them individually, I do think that'd be wild. But of course, right now, Osaragi doesn't have her main weapon. That got destroyed by Seiba. So, I don't know. There's some interesting stuff that can go on. Enough. Uh-oh. Bro's about to turn to a video game character? Bro literally did turn into a video game character. Oh, wait. Let's read the stats, bro. Okay, bro's got his location on the minimap. Bro has a mana meter? What is this for? What level are you, Gaku? Unblur the screen, bro. Okay, so he's in Gaku, bro. You got any healing items, bro? You've already taken 33%? I can't even tell how much damage Nagumo's taking here, but it looks like just based on the bar here, Nagumo's taking 33%, bro. You want Tamamura, bro? I don't think you want that. I really, for your own sake, I don't think you want that, bucko. Let's see. Slaughter's just a game. You gotta enjoy it, or it's a waste. Okay, Gaku, talk that talk, man. Talk that devious talk. Though your lips look kind of funny here. I'm assuming this is supposed to be like your teeth. I don't like the gap. That's a little bit wacky looking. But let's see. Nagumo doesn't even respond. He's like, "Alright, be about it then." Essentially, that's Nagumo's like, he's like, "Be about it. Be on that action then. You're talking that talk, but he walked the walk, and let's see that Gaku walk the walk." Okay, he lunges in. So Nagumo switched back to the generic blade. What are they gonna do? Oh, straight through Gaku's arm? Ah, but it looks like Gaku expected it. Oh, yo. I'll give Gaku this. Bro is like, he's not, maybe he is though. Because like in terms of people like losing limbs or like taking what would otherwise be considered lethal damage and just walking it off, Gaku really is. He really is about that. Like, I still will never forget him going up against Tamamura. Tamamura slices his hand off, and he's like, "Man, guess won't be doing this anymore." And he just hard kicks it towards Tamamura. Bro said, I know he's about to pierce me. Raise the right arm, let the right arm get pierced, and immediately put a spin cycle on that bad boy to break Nagumo's weapon. Which is, hey, it's smart. You take away an assassin's weapon. in some way, shape, or form, it's still gonna be infinitely less viable than it was. But let's see, what's Bro about to do? Oh, he's going in for another hit. Ooh, okay. That's cool. Yo, Nagumo performed a flip off of Bro's arm. That is wild. And was that the arm he just pierced? Because he guards with his right. The blade pierces through. He snaps the blade off by hitting the rotation cycle on it with the right arm. He goes in for the punch again with the right arm. Wow. I'm not sure where the blade went though. I think the blade should still be visible here if this is supposed to still be his right arm. Let's see. Nagumo performs a flip, rotation. Ooh, the flip into the kick, but blocked. Okay. Once again, there's more relative. Ooh, now that's crazy. I'm sorry. I know I'm like going like bit by bit, piece by piece here, but that's the beauty of Sakamoto Days fights. Essentially, Suzuki Sensei is just able to coordinate all this so smoothly, so butterily. So let me see what happens here. So first things first, Gaku does the smart thing. He tries to get rid of at least an aspect of the multi-tool by taking a piece of the blade. He blocks it with his right arm, just based on, he raises the right. The blade goes through, he snaps it by spinning his right arm, goes in for a punch, presumably with the left. But the issue with that is, unless he, oh no, maybe this is still the right? It looks like the left, because this is the left side of his face, and the arm seems to be coming from this direction. Nagumo reacts, seems to dodge it, but another hit comes in with the right. Nagumo flips off of it, and then goes in for a spin kick. The spin kick gets blocked by the left hand. Then Gaku, like, I'm guessing in this moment, he like slipped his hand underneath and then immediately recupped on Nagumo's ankle and just launches Broski. And then immediately goes in for the combo. That's good. Wait a second, where did his weapon even go? Hold on, let me take a step back for a minute. Let me see. Where did Gaku's weapon go? So he has it in hand here when he's knocked back. He probably still has it here. Multi-tool. Interesting. So the weapon kind of does just disappear. I'm not sure where Gaku's weapon goes here for these short couple panels. Because he's clearly not holding it. I'm guessing maybe, like, right here? Maybe right here after this point. Because you can see he still has it here. So maybe right here, once he activates video game mode, he, like, threw it up before the hands and the controller came in. And the weapon's just in the air. And then he has this hand-to-hand encounter with Nagumo. Exclusively hand-to-hand, where he doesn't have the weapon. And then the weapon, I'm guessing he catches it. Because he does come overhead. He throws Nagumo after grabbing him. And then probably leaps forward, grabs the weapon, which was mid-fall, and boom. The only thing I wish we could have seen Brill throw up the weapon. If he does throw up the weapon here in one of these panels, I'm just missing it. Feel free to correct me in the comment section. But the thing is, I just don't see the weapon. Like, it is here. He is still holding it, even after getting smacked by the airplane. But I just don't see it for the rest of this encounter. And he should be holding it. But it's not visible, because he goes, like, this is clearly two cases where the weapon should be seen somewhere, right? But it's not. And then he gets it back. So I'm guessing he threw it up into the air, and Suzuki-sensei just didn't draw it. Yo, Nagumo, what you doing out here with all this cake? But let me see. With a block? What matters in a weapon is... Oh, this is Gaku. What matters in a weapon is sturdiness and weight. Okay, so yeah, he mentioned this. So I'm guessing he did just throw it up. Huh? Nagumo said, oh, for real? I got you, bro. Let me show you something sturdy with some weight in it. There's nothing there. An invisible blade? The key to slaughter is deception. Ah, that's my boy. That's my boy, Nagumo. Talk that talk. Alright, and that's it. That's the end of chapter 151 of Sakamoto Days. Alright, go to Moto Days. Shout out. Alright. So once again, this chapter, while mostly being exclusively fighting and some minor characterization and some expansion of Nagumo's weapons and a bit more of a deep expansion on Gaku's kit, this is once again sort of reinforcing the narrative that while Gaku definitely does have stat relativity, he's just clearly not as good as a fighter. Like, he just isn't. He isn't. He is able to cleanly land hits, right? Like, Nagumo is still wary of the level of damage that he can do, and both do... Computer, I'm begging you. Please stop screaming so loud. But with that being the case, editing me, you're going to have to do your words on this one. But you can clearly see throughout this entire encounter that Gaku does have relativity. He is able to force Nagumo to dodge instead of Nagumo just clearly blocking it, and Nagumo is forced to get creative, as Gaku's able to react to him, block his hits, kill his motion, and then knock Nagumo through whole structures with minor motions like the 1-inch punch. Once again, as the chapter itself says, barely any buildup, but still extreme amounts of damage, right? But based on the fact that Nagumo seems still casual in terms of his mentality, and also continuously catches Gaku off guard numerous times in this chapter, from his ability to consistently switch weapons, to smacking him with the airplane, to even getting Gaku in a rough position, even after Gaku seems to lock in, right here, where he goes full gamer mode, stops thinking, goes purely instinctive, and Nagumo, I actually don't even think he hits Nagumo here. He grabs him and throws him, and forces him to block, but honestly, yeah, even when Gaku seemingly enough locks in, or stops thinking, he doesn't actually land a single hit on Nagumo, which kind of perpetuates the narrative that the Order are still a level above. And in terms of just sheer skill, it's clear. Nagumo has more hidden tactics, more understanding, more abilities, and honestly is just the better fighter, which works for me. Love Gaku, think he's fantastic, did not want him beating my boy Nagumo. So the Nagumo agenda is reinforced and still on top. However, I think that makes this a W chapter. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Gaku guts. Gaku, as in his name, guts, considering Nagumo's literally deep in his guts right now. I think I can say that, no pause. So yeah, he's deep in his guts right now. Please leave that in the comment section down below. And the thing is, what you're watching, please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include ad-free variations of every single video I release. Now, that's the thing is, what you're watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This happens to be that guy with the pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Connor Plays, Redwolf 4765, Greyhound, and Akids Void. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Sean, RNG Master, Midnight Gemlord, Metal Solid Crisis, Kevin, Igneal, and Demix LND. I'd like to give another thank you to our $7 member, Autumn's Morning Lazo. I'd like to give another chunk of thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, Idemokami, and China Doll 09. I'd like to give a fat, juicy, scrumdiddlyumptious thank you to our wonderful $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give another hefty, defty, trifty, nifty thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.